Alright, so we have just defined what area is. Again, that's the shape or the space inside of a shape. We can solve for that using length times width, doing tiling, rows by columns. Ashley, whatever you're messing with that. And then we talked about perimeter. It's similar, but very different because we are measuring around a shape. Because I'm going around a shape, I cannot multiply. I have to add all my sides. Yes, ma'am.
Perimeter. It may not be like that way, but if you do tile perimeter, it almost looks like a fast array.
It does, but do I have imaginary tiles on the inside when I'm doing perimeter? No, that's where it's tricky because it does look like a fast array, but it is not because I'm not filling in that middle portion. Okay, Kylie, can you put it on your desk, please? Thanks. All right, I want to know your thoughts on today's question of can shapes with the same area have different perimeters? Shapes that have the same area have a different perimeter. If you think yes, that can happen, raise your hand. If you think no, that can't happen, raise your hand. All right, we're going to figure that out today. You're just writing that question on the board, Hunter. Hello? Hunter, that question. Okay. All right, so we're going to work on this today. Go ahead and draw a 6 by 5. Go ahead and draw a 6 by 5 in your notebook. I have a 6 by 5 rectangle on the board. Yes. That's just underneath. When I see a shape, like a rectangle, and only some of my sides are filled in with dimensions, what should be my first step? Right now I only have 2 sides labeled on this shape, so what should be my first step? All that needs to go in your desk. That's fine. Gio?
You put both of the sides. If the 6 is the top, you put the 6 on the bottom, and you put the 5 on the left, you put the 5 on the right.
Very good. I need to label all sides. Get in that habit of labeling all my dimensions. Yes, Kylie? If I am solving area, am I trying to figure out the inside or the outside? I'm solving for area. Inside or outside? William? Inside. A for area. Could I put box? Yeah, it's just a space saver. How do I solve for area? I got this random box. Now I gotta figure out how much space is in it. How am I going to do that? Aiden?
You multiply 5 and
Why?
figure out the length of the shape, the sides,
Yeah, these are rows and columns. That's all it is. So I'm going to multiply my rows by my columns, aka my length by my width. Billy, I'm writing, therefore you should be writing as well. 5 times 6, I can solve that equation. You tell me. You tell me. What is the area of this shape? Ashley? 30. We don't know what unit I'm using. I don't know if I'm using inches. I don't know if I'm using centimeters or feet. So I'm just going to put a U for a unit because I don't know what unit I'm counting by. And then because I was doing area, using those squares to fill it in, squared. Yes.
you have to
Yes.
use this and then this one?
Yes. Unless you're going to write it out square units.
Why would you do that? Why do you have to do that?
Because that is the type of unit you're using. You're using square units because you're using length and width to count. Yes. There are square units. Just because you can't see them does not mean it's not there. Okay. If I'm going to solve the perimeter of this shape, how would I do that? How would I solve the perimeter of this shape? Grayson?
You would add 6 plus 5.
Not better. Here. Is that it? 6 plus 5?
No.
Here's why I tell you to do this. Because Grayson, you told me to add 6 plus 5. Is that the entire distance around my shape? This is why I ask you to trace. Because it'll help remind you to get all sides. Lily Marie, what do I do next? So I'm going to trace the 6 plus another 6 and a 5. What is my perimeter for this shape? Solve it however you would like. I see doubles that can make a 10. Definitely going to start there. Good mental math.
Wait.
Hunter?
12 plus 10 equals 9.
What is 12 plus 10 equal?
22.
22. This is just going to be regular units. Because I did not use the whole square, I just used one side of my square when I was filling in or counting the outside, that I'm just going to say units. If I use the whole square, then it would be square units. Okay? That's fine. I'm talking about the squares that I used to count. Does that make sense?
Oh, I thought you meant like the base of it.
Okay. Also, I noticed a couple of you did this on your check-in. If that number is 5, that means there are 5 squares on the side. Do not draw your own. It's telling you how many are there. A couple of you decided to do this. You're like, well, I think that side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It might be 7 for your little line, but you have to look at the dimension. It tells you how many squares are there. You don't have to draw them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, Kate, what's up?
So, can you do 5 times 2 and then 6 times 2 since there's 2 6s and 2 5s? Yeah.
For this shape, mathematically, yes,
That's fine.
that would work. Now, what if you had a perimeter of a hexagon?
No, only for
Do you see what I'm saying? So you just have to be very careful, and you have to make sure that the side lengths are matching. Because even if I had a quadrilateral like this, would I be able to do that?
No.
So just be careful. Mathematically, that's correct for this problem, but you just have to be careful. Okay, Barrett, what's up? Okay. All right, let's find the area of this shape. Draw it. Actually, I want you to find both the area and the perimeter by yourselves. Let me remind you, label all your dimensions. This dimension. Dimension. What is that dimension? Kylie?
3.
No. 10. It is opposite sides are equal. In this case, the opposite side is 10. What is this dimension, William? 3. Opposite Opposite sides are equal. If you don't have all your dimensions labeled, please label them. What's my area equation? What's my area equation? Grayson?
10 times 3.
Wait, I wrote 3 times 10 on my paper. Is that wrong?
No.
Why? Ooh, way back. That's not okay. Dorian?
Because it's like so do you know how you wrote 3 times 10 on your paper?
Yep.
And somebody else wrote 10 times 3.
Yep.
The numbers are just switched backwards.
Yep.
Well, except they're switched backwards. And anyways, if you count by 3, it will still equal the same number as 10 times 3.
Ada?
Commutative property says that any number can be switched around and it'll still equal the same answer.
Can I do commutative property with subtraction? No. I can only do commutative property, which is switching my order in multiplication and in addition. The order does not matter. Very nicely. What is my area? What is my area? Lily? 30. What's the rest of it? Units. Squared units. Remember, we're putting in imaginary squares inside here. So my units have to be squared. What's my perimeter equation? What's my perimeter equation? Maria?
And you could also do it 10 plus 3 plus 3 plus 10.
Yes, I can switch around this order as well because of the same commutative property. Very good. What does my perimeter equal? Kylie? 26. Hey, wait a second. Look at that first one again we just did. That area was 30. And this area, whoops, this area was 30. Did they have the same perimeter? Look, you have it on your paper. Look. Aiden, did they have the same perimeter? Did they? This one has a perimeter of 26, and this one has a perimeter of 22. Billy, please have a little self-control.
It's not because your area is because area is multiplication and perimeter is addition, and you can't mix addition with multiplication. And perimeter doesn't do the same thing as
They are measuring different things. So I can have a shape that has the same area, 5 by 6, and in this case a 3 by 10. They have the same area. They take up the same amount of space on the inside, but it's a lot different on the outside of that shape.
Perimeter's outside there is.
Exactly.
Makes it numbers?
It's because they're measuring different things. That's really all it is. They're measuring different things. Perimeter measures the outside, and area measures the inside. Just because they are measuring different things is why I can have shapes that have the same area on the inside. Gentlemen, if you are looking at something in your lap, put it on your desk, please. If you are not looking at something in your lap, pay attention up here, please. Thanks. That's why I can have two shapes that have the same area, but a different perimeter. Hunter, what's up? Yes, please. Lily, were you going to say the same thing? That's fine. Kylie, what's up?
I'm confused. If you do it a 9 by 4, it has a perimeter and stuff. But if you do it area 5. 5, why doesn't that equal the same thing? Even though you add those two together, they equal the same.
What do you mean?
What? Because 900.
No. Your perimeter would be the same
I mean, your area.
because we're multiplying. Just because you bumped down one dimension and bumped up another dimension, it's not just the dimensions, it's rows and columns. So you've altered the amount of rows and columns. That'll work for addition, but because with area we're multiplying and looking at rows and columns, I asked you to stop doing that yesterday. Because we're messing with rows and columns, that's where it gets all funky. Alright, we're not going to do that today. Instead, what we're going to do is get out some geoboards.